I've heard stories of girls growing up too fast. I've heard stories of girls who just love to dance. I've heard stories of girls who used to wear virginity like a badge on their chest, and now she's got a baby sucking on her breasts. I've heard stories of girls with born to fuck tattoos on their wrists. These same wrists are pinned down to the ground. 3 minutes felt like 3 hours as she got fucked up. The ass. Fucked, not raped. No, she couldn't have been raped in her own home. She must have suggested it. I've heard stories of girls used and abused by the men they love the most. I've heard stories of girls with very low self-esteem. I've heard stories of girls who've been through hell and back and still live to tell their stories. And I like to listen, so I've heard stories. And since I've been hearing these stories about these girls my whole life, I have tried to not be like the girls in these stories. So as a kid, I never wanted to grow up, yet I called myself the grown-ass kid, and I always wanted to dance, but Daddy never let me, so that dream faded away too. When I was in the 6th grade, the finest boy in junior high told me he loved me and that we'd always be together. Convinced he was the right one, I gave it up to him. He said, baby, we're not just having sex, we're making love. We don't need no protection, you know. It's kind of like that poem you wrote, Unprotected Poetry. My naive little 11-and-a-half-year-old self looking for love in all the wrong places, I believed him wholeheartedly. But I got lucky, so I never had a baby, and I've been lucky compared to these girls and these stories I heard so much about. So I keep telling these stories about these girls with so much potential, these girls who let petty things hold them back, these girls who fall in love with the wrong guys, these girls who fit the stereotype. I retell these stories about these girls because one way or another they have got to be told, and I believe that every girl has a story. I'll just let this one be mine. Thank you.